Retirement Budgeting 101 isn't just a checklist, it's a series of deadlines that can change your life forever. Miss your Medicare. Part B enrollment by a year, and you'll pay a 10% premium penalty every year, permanently, for a mistake with no fix, compounding stress on a fixed income just as health costs peak. Most people only learn this when it's too late, leaving them to slash spending or delay care. But what else are new retirees overlooking about the rules, numbers, and traps that decide whether your savings will last or run out sooner than you think? Let's start with the costly timing error that could haunt you for decades. A single missed deadline can haunt your budget for life. At 64, a retiree named Susan planned to sign up for Medicare Part B after her 65th birthday, thinking a few months wouldn't matter. But the rules are unyielding. The initial enrollment period lasts just 7 months, 3 before the birthday month and 3 after. By the time Susan realized her mistake, she had missed the window by a full year. The penalty is automatic and permanent. Her monthly Part B premium jumped by 10% for each full year she waited, locked in for as long as she has Medicare. In 2025, that base premium is $174.70, but Susan will pay $192.17 every month, every year for the rest of her life. There's no retroactive fix, no do-over, and the surcharge rises each time the standard premium increases. For someone on a fixed income, that extra $210 a year, compounded by future hikes, can force hard trade-offs like skipping medications or delaying routine care. Worse, the penalty stacks if the delay is longer. 2 years late means a 20% surcharge, 3 years means 30%, and so on. The rule doesn't care if you were healthy or just forgot. The only exceptions are for those with credible employer coverage. For everyone else, the penalty is a one-way ratchet. This isn't just a bureaucratic detail, it's a trap that can cost thousands over a retirement. The coverage gap also exposes late enrollees to months without insurance, risking medical bills that can wipe out emergency savings. Every year, tens of thousands of new retirees stumble into this penalty, learning too late that the price is permanent. The Medicare clock starts ticking at 65, and if you miss it, the system doesn't forgive or forget. John and Mary sit at their kitchen table, surrounded by unopened envelopes and a spreadsheet full of numbers that never seem to add up. John, a retired machinist, brings in $2,100 a month from Social Security. Mary, who left her job early to care for her mother, qualifies for just $700 on her own record. Their mortgage is nearly paid off, but property taxes keep rising, and the furnace is on its last legs. Every year, their prescription costs edge higher, even with Medicare Part D. When Mary's arthritis flared up, she skipped a specialist visit to save the $45 copay. Their son offers to help, but he's juggling his own bills and a young family. When John's brother needed long-term care, it wiped out the family's savings in under 3 years. That memory lingers every time they look at their own budget. Mary wonders if they should downsize, but the cost of moving, at least $2,500 in their city, more if they need help packing, would eat up most of their emergency fund. Remodeling for accessibility is out of reach. A simple bathroom upgrade starts at $8,000, and whole home changes can run $30,000 or more. They debate claiming the higher spousal Social Security benefit, but the rules are confusing. If John files at 62, their combined benefit is locked in at a much lower amount, permanently. If they hold out until 67 or even 70, the monthly check is much bigger, but the gap means living lean for years. Mary's caregiving for her mother left her with chronic back pain, and John worries about what would happen if one of them needs help. Long-term care insurance quotes are staggering. Premiums have doubled since 2019, and they're not sure they'd even qualify. One missed deadline or a single medical bill could force a choice between groceries and medication. Each trade-off feels heavier with time. They're not looking for luxury, just a way to make the numbers work, to keep the lights on and the fridge full, and to avoid becoming a burden to their children. For John and Mary, every decision is a balancing act between risk and hope, with little margin for error. The decision of when to claim Social Security shapes the rest of a retiree's financial life. In 2025, the maximum monthly benefit at full retirement age, $3,822, is only available to those who wait until 67 or 66 and 10 months if born in 1959. Claiming at 62, the earliest possible age, locks in a permanent reduction of about 30%, dropping the maximum to $2,710 per month. That difference isn't just a short-term hit, it compounds over decades, especially as annual cost of living adjustments, 2.5% for 2025, are applied to a smaller base. For many, the urge to claim early is strong, especially when cash is tight, but the math is unforgiving. A lower benefit now means less every month for life and less for a surviving spouse down the road. Spousal and survivor rules add another layer of complexity. A married person can receive up to 50% of their spouse's full benefit if claimed at their own full retirement age, but only 32.5% if they claim at 62. Spousal benefits don't increase with delayed credits, but survivor benefits do. When the higher-earning spouse delays claiming until 70, the survivor inherits the full, larger check, including all delayed retirement credits and cost of living increases. This can mean the difference between $2,710 and $3,822 a month for the survivor, or even more if the higher earner waited until 70, pushing the benefit to over $4,000 with COLA adjustments. For divorced spouses, a marriage lasting at least 10 years unlocks eligibility for spousal or survivor benefits based on an ex-spouse's record. No need for the ex to have filed, as long as both are over 62. Meanwhile, the repeal of the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. Starting January 2025 means public employees, teachers, police, firefighters, now see their Social Security checks recalculated without harsh reductions, and many will receive retroactive payments for lost months. This change has lifted benefits for thousands who spent careers outside the Social Security system. Once a claiming age is chosen, there's no going back. The Social Security Administration's rules are final. No do-overs, no resets, and no retroactive increases if circumstances change. For couples, the higher earner's choice affects not just their own check, but the survivor's future income. The numbers are clear. Patience, when possible, builds a stronger foundation for both spouses, and for those impacted by the new DOEP and GPO rules, 2025 brings long-awaited relief. Medicare isn't a single plan, but a menu of choices, each with its own rules, costs, and trade-offs. Most Americans are automatically enrolled in Part A at age 65 if they or a spouse worked at least 10 years. Part A covers hospital stays and is usually premium-free, but it comes with deductibles and daily co-payments for longer admissions. Part B, which covers doctor visits and outpatient care, requires a monthly premium, $174.70 in 2025 for most, though higher incomes push it up. Prescription coverage falls under Part D, a separate plan with its own premium and rules. All three parts can be mixed and matched, but the details matter. Choosing between Original Medicare plus Medigap or a Medicare Advantage plan shapes both costs and care. Medigap, also called Medicare Supplement, pays most of the out-of-pocket expenses that Parts A and B don't cover. Like deductibles and coinsurance, it offers broad access to doctors nationwide with no network restrictions. Premiums are higher, but the predictability appeals to those who travel or see multiple specialists. If you want to keep the freedom to see any provider who accepts Medicare, Medigap is the safer bet. But the window to buy it without medical screening closes 6 months after you enroll in Part B. Miss it and you may be denied coverage or pay much more if your health changes. Medicare Advantage, or Part C, bundles hospital, medical, and often drug coverage into a single plan, sometimes with extra perks like dental or vision. Premiums can be lower, and out-of-pocket limits may help with budgeting. But Advantage plans use tight provider networks and often require pre-authorization for major treatments. Denials and delays are more common, especially for those with chronic conditions. Switching back to original Medicare later doesn't guarantee you can get Medigap without underwriting, an often overlooked risk. The timing of enrollment affects when coverage starts. Sign up for Part B before your birthday month, and coverage begins the first day of that month. Enroll during or after, and the start date can be delayed by 1 to 3 months. This gap can leave retirees briefly uninsured if they're not careful. The rules are rigid, and even a 1-month delay can mean scrambling to pay unexpected bills. For those weighing their options, understanding these mechanics is as important as the plan choice itself. Each path, Medigap or Advantage, fits different needs, but both demand close attention to timing, provider access, and long-term costs. Required minimum distributions, RMDs, shape retirement finances in ways that often go unnoticed until the rules take effect. Beginning in 2025, those reaching age 73 must start withdrawing from traditional IRAs and most workplace plans, regardless of need. For anyone born in 1960 or later, the first RMD arrives at 75. The IRS calculates the minimum withdrawal using the previous year's account balance and a life expectancy factor. Missing the deadline comes with a penalty: 25% of the amount not withdrawn, reduced to 10% if corrected quickly, but still a significant cost. The years before RMDs begin, typically in the late 60s, create a window for tax strategy. Many retirees use this time for Roth conversions, shifting funds from pre-tax accounts into Roth IRAs. The intent is to reduce future RMDs and secure current tax rates. Yet each dollar converted counts as income, and that can trigger a chain reaction. Medicare sets Part B and D premiums using modified adjusted gross income from 2 years prior. Crossing the $103,000 threshold for singles or $206,000 for couples in 2025 means paying the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount, or IRMAA. At this level, the Part B premium rises from $174.70 to at least $244.60, and Part D adds $12.90 monthly. Higher income bands push these costs further, with the top bracket reaching $594 for Part B and $81 for Part D per person, per month. A single large Roth conversion or investment sale can push income into a higher IRMAA band for 2 years. For example, a couple reporting $300,000 in taxable income in 2023 will each pay $348.30 for Part B and $33.30 for Part D every month in 2025, nearly $5,000 more for the year. There is no appeal for voluntary income spikes. The surcharge is automatic. The Secure 2.0 Act's later RMD ages give retirees more time to plan, but mapping out withdrawals and conversions before RMDs begin is now essential. Each decision can tip the balance between preserving savings and watching health premiums climb. A steady retirement budget depends on more than just picking the right time to claim Social Security or signing up for Medicare on time. Once monthly income is set, the real challenge is making savings last, especially when big expenses threaten to throw off the plan. Financial planners often point to the safe withdrawal rule. Taking out about 3.5 to 4% of your portfolio each year is a common guideline for sustainable withdrawals. For a couple with $400,000 in savings, that means $14,000 to $16,000 a year, on top of Social Security and any pension. But this rule isn't foolproof. The timing of market downturns, known as sequence of returns risk, can have an outsized impact. Retirees who started withdrawals just before the 2008 market crash had to cut spending by 10 to 25% or risk running out of money. Building in a cushion, like holding a year's worth of expenses in cash or short-term bonds, can help buffer against market swings. Housing decisions carry their own set of costs and trade-offs. Downsizing to a smaller home may free up equity and reduce expenses, but the act of moving itself is rarely cheap. In most U.S. cities, a local move for a 2- or 3-bedroom home costs around $2,500, with prices climbing in high-cost areas or for full-service help. Longer distance moves can run $5,000 or more. Staying put and remodeling for accessibility is another option, but even modest upgrades add up. A basic bathroom remodel starts at $8,000, while a full home overhaul for aging in place can reach $30,000 or more. These are not one-time decisions. Unexpected repairs or rising property taxes can force a rethink years down the road. Long-term care is the wild card that upends even the best-laid plans. The average annual cost for a private nursing home room now tops $70,000, and home health aides can cost $25 an hour or more. Long-term care insurance premiums have doubled in the past 5 years, leaving many to choose between paying steep rates or taking the risk of self-funding. Some retirees opt to earmark a portion of their savings as a dedicated care fund, while others rely on family support, knowing that caregiving brings its own financial and emotional toll. Every scenario demands a clear-eyed look at both recurring and sudden expenses, so that when the unexpected hits, the budget bends but doesn't break. Retirees lose billions each year to scams that slip through the cracks of even the most careful plans. One Florida couple, both in their 70s, saw their savings drained by a phishing scheme that rerouted their IRA rollover. No dramatic hack, just a forged email and a few missed warning signs. Law enforcement eventually traced the stolen funds through digital forensics, but only a fraction was recovered. The real damage was the months spent in probate, waiting for courts to untangle ownership while bills piled up. Missing or outdated estate documents, like a power of attorney or healthcare directive, can leave families powerless in a crisis, forcing assets into lengthy legal limbo. In some states, an overlooked beneficiary form or a home titled incorrectly triggers unexpected taxes, even on Social Security. The risks are real, but simple steps, updating key documents, double-checking account titles, and learning your state's tax quirks can keep a lifetime savings out of harm's way. Enrollment windows are precise, and missing them can set off a chain reaction that's hard to reverse. The Initial Enrollment Period, GEDULS, or IEP, is a 7-month window built around your 65th birthday, 3 months before, the month of, and 3 months after. The General Enrollment Period, GEMIND, or GEP, runs from January 1st to March 31st each year for those who missed their IEP. Special Enrollment Periods, or SEPs, open only after certain life events, like losing employer coverage or moving. The date you sign up determines when your Medicare actually begins. Enroll before your birthday month, and coverage starts the first day of that month. Wait until after, and you could face a 2 or 3 month delay. Mark these dates on a calendar now. Missing even a single window can mean months without coverage and costs you can't take back. 5 steps can help any retiree take control of their budget, no matter where they start. First, log into ssa.gov and download your Social Security statement. Run the numbers for claiming at 62, 67, and 70 to see the monthly impact. Next, confirm your Medicare enrollment dates and set calendar reminders for your initial enrollment period or any upcoming special enrollment windows. Third, run a 3-year tax projection, either with a basic spreadsheet or a free online tool, to spot years when Roth conversions or extra withdrawals will not push you into a higher IRMAA bracket. Fourth, update your legal documents. Check that your power of attorney, healthcare directive, and beneficiary forms are current and stored in a safe place. Finally, build or replenish a cash reserve. Aim for at least 12 months of living expenses in a liquid account, ready to cover emergencies or unexpected bills. These steps form a foundation that protects both your income and your peace of mind. Missing a single Medicare enrollment window can trigger a 10% Part B penalty for each year delayed, a cost that never goes away. The evidence shows how irreversible decisions, from claiming Social Security at 62 and locking in a lifetime reduction, to overlooking enrollment deadlines or tax thresholds, can shape retirement security for decades. While detailed rules now cover everything from required minimum distribution ages under Secure 2.0 to income-related monthly adjustment amount surcharges and the repeal of the windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. In 2025, some variables, like future cost of living adjustments, health events, or changes to federal and state tax law, remain impossible to predict. What stands out in the documents is the impact of timing and documentation. Every missed window or unfiled directive risks higher costs or lost protections. The concrete takeaway is clear. Track every deadline, document your wishes, and check numbers against current rules. In retirement, informed action is the single best defense against lasting financial mistakes.